Graniola. This is the Graniola channel, and I'd like to tell you a folk tale. Stuck in the Mud is a simple Jewish folk story that suggests an attitude that might improve one's life. There were once two neighbors who considered themselves to be friends. Their circumstances were very different, which often makes it difficult for people to get along with each other. Although because of their differing living conditions, they very rarely actually spoke to each other. Whenever either one looked toward the house of the other, it was always with an amiable expression on his face. One man was known far and wide as the richest person that anyone had ever known. He lived in a huge mansion where the walls were covered with gold and the walkways were made of precious stones. The other was very poor and lived in a small shack with only one plate, one spoon, and one set of clothing. The thing that made both of them feel as if they were friends was that each one of them was content with his own life. I'm certain you've noticed that when people are truly happy, they look upon others in a kindly fashion. The poor man spent his days doing small kindnesses for others who were just as impoverished as he was. And he contented himself thinking, God loves the poor. The rich man never tired of consuming sumptuous meals or enjoying his works of art or counting his golden coins. He was quite often heard to say that he enjoyed his plethora of riches thanks to the grace of God. Now, it happened one day after a huge rainstorm that both men left their houses at the same time and met in the middle of the road. Just as they drew within sight of each other, the rich man's extremely ornate coach veered slightly to the left and sunk down partially into a waterlogged rut. Its owner jumped down jauntily and walked over to his neighbor. The pair greeted each other warmly. Then the rich man spoke. "My dear friend, with the road in this condition, how do you dare leave your hut? As you see, my very fancy coach is stuck in the mud at this moment, but I have 4 extremely strong stallions, and they will easily pull it out. Your old nag looks like she's struggling just to maintain her balance. I don't think she'd be any help at all if you got stuck. I'm worried about you, neighbor. I don't think it's smart of you to go out on days like this. If you got stuck somewhere along the road, I don't know what you would do." "Well, I thank you for your concern, my friend, but I think you're at a much greater risk than I am. When you come out on a day like this, you're certain that you'll be able to handle any situation. I, on the other hand, am very much aware of my own limitations as well as those of my beloved animal. As a result, I pay a lot of attention to my surrounding, and I'm very careful as to where I lead her. Because of your certainty that someone or something will always come to your rescue, you pay no attention at all to where you're going. So, at the end of the day, which one of us is really safer?" This is a tale that is told in Israel. When that country declared independence in 1948, it opened its borders to exiles from around the world. By sharing their diverse stories, these people have been able to preserve their oral traditions and at the same time reinforce their commitment to their new community.